subscribe to our channel by clicking the subscribe button. Click the bell button and enjoy the latest uploads from our channel.
Now and then we all are aliens. Yes, we are. Feeling like we don't belong.
Good evening, Philippine Islands. Welcome to Sunday Super Special, and tonight, I'll do my best to speak in English throughout the show, all throughout the show. I'm just kidding. Magandang gabi, Kapulang Pilipinas, and welcome sa ating Sunday Super Special. Talagang super special ito. At meron po tayong panauhin na si Mr. John Arceneaux. At hindi ko kakayanin ng mag-English. At syempre, kailangan talaga ng aking katuwang, yung ang level ng intelihensya, ng wisdom ng aking katuwang para mabuo ang talakayang ito with John Arceneaux. Kaya minarapat kong maanyayahan si Mang Ardo. Maraming salamat, Mang Ardo, sa iyong
Good evening. Good evening, Canton. Good evening sa lahat ng mga nakikinig nating mga kasama. At saka yung makikinig later.
This is going to be the first ever international version of our show.
Okay. Lintigid.
Lintigid.
Nasyak ako sa iyo eh. Mag-English ka na agad eh. Dila ko kailangan. Ayusin ko na yung dila ko eh.
I'm just sharpening my tongue. Kaya
ako eh. Bisaya magid ako. Bahala na gid. Lalabas yung Bisaya ko.
Pero ang ating panahon isang Amerikano, pero marunong mag-English eh. Marunong mag-Tagalog.
Marunong mag-English. Marunong mag-Tagalog.
Siguro kung familiar kayo sa ating panahon, magiging panahon, we'll be getting in 15 minutes from now, yung mga followers ni FLM, si John Arceneaux, isa sa mga critic. At kumbaga very lively, very passionate yung kanyang mga komentaryo sa kanyang Facebook page, full of garnishings, full of PIs.
Alam mo na kuan, you know what, when you mentioned his name, Canton, last night, I remembered na when you described him to me, I remembered na I was able to see one of his videos at several years ago, because I was doing some research on the first Philippine community, ancient or old Filipino community in the US. And it turned out that one of the earliest communities were not the Filipinos who went to Hawaii, but rather the Filipinos who jumped ships from the galleons, yung mga Spanish galleons. Umalis sila doon, awol sila, and then they went to New Orleans.
New Orleans, in
New
Louisiana.
Orleans, which is
In Louisiana.
Louisiana, no? And there is a community of Filipinos daw in that area.
Well, to my
So,
surprise also, while we were discussing this guesting John and I were discussing this guesting, the possible guesting. He mentioned that to me, and for the first time, I came to grasp some idea or were able to obtain some idea regarding that. And then you seconded or you provided me with additional info regarding that matter. No? So it came to me at first a very surprise thing. I was surprised when I learned about it. I didn't. Uh, I don't have any
ang
prior.
husay mo naman mag-English, eh.
I didn't have any prior idea to that. Eh, kaya nga,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
and that I think his lolo was a Filipino. Lolo niya ay Filipino. Yun na nga, sumakay ng galyo papuntang Mexico yata. Or something. Hindi ko masyado. We'll have in,
But
let's be brief
it would probably be
stories regarding.
older kasi it would probably be mga yung kasi parang tiningnan ko parang he seems to be younger than me. I am now 70. So
Mm-hmm.
my it would be my great grandfather was in the mid middle of the 1800s. Sa mga 1850 ganun.
Mm-hmm.
So my grandfather was born in 1896.
Mm-hmm.
Yung grandfather ko. So yung my great grandfather would be older.
So, if it was not Hawaii, yung mga first Filipino immigrants to America who went to Hawaii to pick pineapples, why in Louisiana? Why in New Orleans?
But
Why in,
you have to understand a lot of the galleons that was traveling. Once the Philippines was considered as a Spanish colony, they started sending ships on a regular basis.
mm,
And the only way that they found to be a way to come to the Philippines was through the Cape Hope in Africa, going south via India, or from Spain diretso sila sa Central America kasi meron naman silang they have colonies on these areas, and then landing in the area, the Central Americas, it would be a short travel across kasi alam na discover na nila yung a short it's just Central America, if you look at the map, is just probably 70 kilometers, malaki na 100 kilometers na
mm,
distansya from the Atlantic to the Pacific.
yes.
So they will just cross, and then kasi wala pang Panama Canal noon eh.
Mm-hmm.
So they cross that strip of land, and then from that they take the ship again going to the Philippines. So from Acapulco or Mexico going to the Philippines.
So they went to Louisiana for greener pastures or for jobs, for work.
This would probably have been Filipinos who were taken as sailors, being known sailors,
Uh-huh.
and then when they landed in Mexico, which is on the Pacific side, western side, dinala sila across
Mm,
the land. Yun ang understanding ko, no? So they jump ship or if not jump ship,
they decided for good.
they escape and took the land trip to Louisiana. Some of them would have probably ended up in Texas, and yung nga Texas, di ba? Texas, pag you go north from the east side, that would be Texas, and then
Kaya nga,
New Orleans.
sabi nga ni John, ay mixed culture na raw ever since. So before mga 1800s, 1900s ang Louisiana, hindi lang mga Pilipino nandun din yung mga Africans, yung mga Creole, may mga ganon.
Creole.
Nakaka-adapt daw sila doon sa mga mga cultures na hindi typical Western ang concept. Na nandiyan siyempre yung mga voodoo, kasama na diyan yung mga
Yeah,
kulam, yung mga
because
aswang.
a lot of the Caribbean was also colonized by either the French, uh, Spaniards, and the
Oo,
Portuguese, no?
oo.
Yun ang and so even the British, English.
Mm.
So, and during that time, yung mga panahon na yun, by the 1800s, 1700s, grabe ang kidnapping ng mga indigenous tribe ng Africa.
Yeah.
Dinadala nila dito as slave to run the cotton farms kasi I think they were
Mm.
not to run the sugarcane fields.
Sugarcane. Mm.
Sugarcane, oh. Yung Caribbean area is famous for the sugarcane. Ang South America sa United States, the southern part is cotton.
So ang agenda natin ngayong Ed, because I got a DM or direct message or PM from John Arceneaux, and he asked that we need to talk due to some urgency. So
So
I
is it
told
talk privately or talk
uh,
publicly?
to talk privately and discuss matters with me, which was, of course, yesterday, last night was the first time
Ikaw yon.
yeah, I ever had the chance to talk with him. I came to know him because of the vlogs or the videos that he would uh, he would make or create in reaction to FLM's moves, etc., etc. So, nanonood ako. I'm one of his fans, or I'm one of his viewers. So, to my surprise, he called and he PM'd me that we need to talk. So, what was it all about? It was all about uh, spiritual warfare, or it has to do with spiritual warfare. But prior to that, he told me that the Philippines is Maharlika and not Ophir, and that supports your theory,
Tara.
and that already supports our position because since you did cursory research, you found out that it was quite impossible for the Philippines to be referred to as the Ophir, but more of a Maharlika instead,
I would rather agree that the Philippines is appear.
or Ophir, public offer. So a lot of us uh, have been immersed or have led into believing seriously that the Philippines is the same to as the referred Ophir. And according to him, one explanation to that gold is the gold in pursuit of gold or in pursuit of some treasure or in our psyche that we need to become prosperous. There's a sort of attachment between our desires for material wealth and to that being offered into that idea that is being offered to us Ophir. So pag ililink mo yan, nandun nga naman yung captivity of that idea that you'll be able to
Sa
capture.
Tagalog pa,
Ah,
nasisilaw ang kanilang mga mata.
yes. So we sabi niya, we need to defrag or we need to deprogram or say to how to call this to debrief the people of the Philippines that we are not Ophir, but we have a great role to do to participate in this sort of spiritual warfare that's going on. I suspect that John will be telling us a little more about the grid lines in support of your cursory research that the grid lines are found in Davao, and it has to do probably with some sort of energy that will usher in as a sort of uh, ingredient that will enable us to be awakened
Pero
and to come into realization that the world we're living in is been covered with too much lies. So it things like that. And
baka nandiyan na si John.
yes. Uh, so we'll wait a while until he fixes his camera. Okay, Ed. He's fixing his camera and he's onto it. I think he just arrived from somewhere and getting ready for the show. Okay. Mhm. So, hintay-hintay lang po natin, ano? At I will take a short break and pag aming pagbabalik, we'll bring on Mr. John Arceneaux.
Subscribe to our channel by clicking the subscribe button. Click the bell button and enjoy the latest uploads from our channel.
Now and then we all are aliens. Yes, we are. Feeling like we don't belong.
Alright. So, mag-i-English muna ho kami. Pero tatanong ko rin kung mag-Tagalog si John, ha? Kundi kung pwede, mag-Tagalog na lang tayo rito. Mag-English ho muna kami. Kaya, pasensya niyo akin sa English dahil broken ang aking English. Wala tayong magagawa. Kailangan natin marinig ang mga bahagi sa atin ni John. Welcome, Mr. John Arceneaux. Welcome to our show, Sunday Super Special, and I'm with Ed Neri.
Well, hello, Ed. As
Hello,
you know,
John.
I'm John. How are you? It's good to know that we have something in common: the rebuke of offer. You know that I am, just to let both of you know and the audience know, I'm being relieved from my job, and I work at a motel and I live at the motel, so I'll be in my room in less than a minute. But I'm gonna take a little walk and come back and just casually warm up to what me and the host of the show talked about yesterday. So, yeah, live.
Live. We just take over for the time being.
Yeah, go ahead, and I will. I'll be in my room in a moment. Now I'll be ready to go.
All right.
So if you want to mute me, I'll maybe 2
we will
minutes.
get settled first, and then we'll have you come. We'll get you back.
Okay.
Would that be okay, or you would like to
That'll
do
be
the talk
fine.
walking?
Oh no, that'll be fine. That'll be fine.
All right.
So go ahead
Okay.
and mute me. I'll come back. I'll let you know when I'm back. In about 2 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, John. O yan. Nagsisimula na natin pag-i-English, Ed.
I don't mind talking.
I don't know. Oh,
I don't
so, sinabi niya na sinusuportahan niya and natutuwa siya na yung ano.
ano ba yan? Nire-revoke. What I'm
Rebuke.
just trying to, I don't know if it's a very aggressive word sabihin mo. Rebuke. We are rebuking the offer hypothesis of the Philippines. What I'm just trying to say is that the idea that it seems that there is an idea that the Philippines is the only one who has all the gold.
Mm.
When in fact, all over the world, maraming gold. I mean, Saudi Arabia has gold. Africa has tremendous amount of gold. So if you're talking about King Solomon's time, baka all the gold that he needed would have been found in eastern part of Africa. Eastern part of Africa coming down from the Red Sea.
So, bakit
So,
kaya nagkaroon ng ganung campaign, no? We were bombarded with convincing
they
videos.
were trying to convince. They were trying to convince.
Whatever is presented was leading to the fact that Philippines was once Ophir. So,
They tried to connect it with the idea, because of the idea that the Philippines is the crucible of the gold inheritance, the heritage of gold,
uh,
the hidden gold of the Second World War, the Mongolian gold, the Chinese gold, lahat na gold,
that were
all
once
the gold,
Philippines. And it seems
the
that they,
Philippines.
it,
Kinonect nila doon.
o kaya nare-redirect naman yung ating attention, ng ating energy towards finding where that gold could be rather than finding what we really needs to find. Di ba? Yung wealth natin is not measurable in terms of what the amount of gold we have, but it's more measurable on what we can do to perfect ourselves or to empower ourselves with. Parang
We
ganun.
have to remember all the time that the real wealth of a nation is its people.
That's right. That's right. I
The
agree.
real wealth of
Ah,
the nation is its people.
so nililihis tayo.
Nililihis kayo.
So we have a power. We have some sort of an X power by which we by this time that we still have to discover what could that be. No? It's still an unknown. It remains unknown. But probably kung sino yung nagrelihi sa atin would already have the idea what could that be, and instead na ituro tayo kung saan yun, dinirect tayo dun sa offer idea na yan para hindi ninyo makita yung tunay na pot of gold na hindi nangangahulugan na ito ay literal na gold, kundi something really is golden doon sa item na yan. Okay.
Golden nation.
Golden pot yun, hindi golden
Yeah,
areno.
but when we start talking about a person, sabihin natin, we try to categorize or subdivide person. We're looking at the person as having a mind, having a soul, having a body. So, in terms of relating this to the wealth of the nation, or that the resources of the nation of a nation, the wealth of the nation is the human resources that it has, the people that it has.
Yes.
And we look at the three subdivisions or categories of a person, which is the mind, spirit, or the soul, or and how do you as a person develop yourself to such an extent that you can now contribute in a collective endeavor,
That's right. That's right.
not individually alone, but in a collective endeavor to the nation, to bring it up higher and higher and higher.
And higher and effectively. And how
Effectively. So, doon tayo if I am asked how this could be done, then you look at that three, the mental aspect, the mind,
and I think there is something that we
ability.
I think
So,
John
in other words, study, learn.
and I think John is going to share something with us in regards to some activation that we need to do.
And then the other one is, of
I'm
course,
going to explain that.
nandiyan na ba si Jan?
Pwede na. Tingnan natin. Hi, John. Nandiyan ka na ba? Hindi pa. Ready ka na?
I'm here.
All right.
Marunong magtagal.
Ay, nako, buhay.
Buhay. Oo.
So, John.
It's good to know that you speak
I
Tagalog.
was raised talking Basaya. My grandfather.
Ganun. So,
My grandfather came from Mindanao to Quebec with my lola and his brother, Malolo. And
from where in Mindanao?
I have no idea.
Oh,
They came on a ship. That's all he said. They came on a ship, and he became acclimated. They brought, you see, in the last days of slavery, 1800s, they were still bringing French people from Quebec down to Louisiana, okay, for the slavery. And what I learned from my grandfather is the truth about Maholika, who we really are. The whole world is Maholika. All origins of humanity come from Maholika. From Lemuria. Lemuria was destroyed by Atlantis. Atlantis was a civilization in the sky, from reptilians, from under the earth to in the sky. And we're billions of years old. You know, the problem we have as humans, we've been indoctrinated to deny our own divine nature. We are all equal. We are not subservient to a Godhead, but we are subservient to millions of years of hypocrisy. So if you
Mhm.
remember President Duterte talking about the stupid God, and you know, he's not talking about Catholicism versus Protestant or monotheism. The problem is we have lost our way. We don't even have the divine feminine in order. It's a fascist agenda. Okay. So Maharlika was hidden by the name Ophir. The truth is the the center of creation is the if you look at the region, you go from Quezon City, Manila, Laguna de Bay, you go all the way to Dupalog. Okay, Dupalog was the highest point. It was the first inhabited fortress from Spain and the Jesuit powers and the monarchy. They found gold encrusted in crystal. There was no rock. It was crystal and gold. Okay, the mountain with the 3,003 steps, where they have the grotto at the top in Dupalog. This
All
for 800, almost 900 years, they fashioned religion and they fashioned consumerism, monotheism, and usury of our divine nature. They analyzed the people of Maharlika. They analyzed how they could create eschatology out of the Jesuit ranks. And monotheism was stolen from Marduk and Egypt, and then you took the minor major gods, the archons, this and this. They found that if they could take that Piso family, Caesar's family name was Piso. They put the face on the coin, a gold coin, and it became the peso. Now, look at what the problem is in the world. Money is actually the god of humanity. Money stops us from being true to our own self, true to our nature, and we are indoctrinated in the books of his story. Okay? The people with the money create the wars, they win the wars, they destroy us, they divide and conquer us from our bare essence to be born human. Human, like the singing bowls. We need to bring our intellect, we need to bring our life out of the hypocrisy, out of the daily servitude to consumerism, lies, hypocrisy. We need to be true to our own self, but we need to realize with a real mind, we need to realize with the real mind how ingrained we are to be hypocrites. We are vainly, repetitiously idolizing the idolatry, the lust, the fear, the we are cowards. We are divine, retarded cowards. We believe so many things. Someone's gonna save us. Jesus is gonna save us. Oh, do you mean Rodrigo Borzaga? Or are you talking about Marduk? Oh, Mama Mary. Oh, you talking about ISIS or the actual vagina? Let's talk about the real issue. Humans have not learned that we are the answer. Our creation is in our heart. The heart is the strongest energy on earth. We have a human resonance, a beating, the time, the bars of this prison planet. Our intention is isolated in our focal point. Our eyes are the universe. We are in a holographic reality. We are the progenitors of evil. We are the beast. There's no devil, no hell. Hell is earth right now. We have been so far down with our vibration, our energy. We idolize and worship the things that kill us. We beat our own children. We give ourselves vaccine. We worship the moon eye, the Saturn moon matrix. We're in a death trap, reincarnating over and over and over again. We have no concept as humans that if we just forgive and open our eyes, if we would just focus on what the oligarchs, what the Illuminati wrote in the papal bull, the Bible, for our real eyes and our real mind. You look at this Christos, this Christ consciousness formed into a man, which they could call God, which is sacrilegious. It's stupid, actually. We are equal, joint heirs with this proverbial Messiah. We are the Messiah. You see, belief is the enemy of knowing. I don't believe anything I know. I am that I am. I have come to a singularity in my life where I know my goal as the eagle of the north, which I claim. Titi Digong is the eagle of the south that comes from the sages of your land, our land. Someone has to open the door and expose the oligarchs, and someone has to push it in their head. I don't care if I insult. I don't care. I do not respect your religion. I do not respect your education. I do not respect anything in your indoctrinated life. The only thing I respect is love and solving the problems of this world, because hay nako buhay. The New World Order is now. We have a United Nations that is a one world government, almost 100 years old. We have corporations. We're all owned. Our birth certificate, we're like stuck. We're chattel mortgages. Look at the bull of Wall Street. Everything, we are so antithesis. We are the beast. 666 is the number of men in Hainako. We are the problem. And this vaccine is going to circumvent our ascension. Coronavirus, the corona of the sun, the halo, the crown chakra, one mind, one accord. They're trying to stop our good vibes and waking up. Okay. Did Dorothy pull the curtain back at the Wizard of Oz to see the little old man be scared of me? No, the dog did it, because the dog said, "Girl, you're a coward. I'll show you." And the little man is like this. Here's George Soros. Oh, no, no. They're scared of us. The wealth of the wicked is held and stored for the just. We have been given the story because these morons that run the world behind the all-seeing eye, they're cowards. We're adulterers to our own bloodlines. Okay? We fornicate our lives daily. But these oligarchs are terrified that we open our eyes and see that we are divine. We are the co-creators. This is our ascension. This vaccine, this COVID-19, this coronavirus, by the way, cellular towers are at 5G signal. Cellular towers broadcast microwave energy and damage cellular tissue. So the corona effect is the RNA carrying, it's a code, it's like a trash bag, like a sachet to bring the tissue out in the hack or the diarrhea. That no virus has ever been caught by anyone. It's produced by the body. It's a product of its environment. So this software update, ironically, the CDC does not have any regulation or anything saying that this new vaccine standard is a drug. It's not. It's software. It's software. They're going to alter our DNA to program our DNA to attack these. No. They're trying to transhumanize us. It has a Neuralink technology. It has the ability to turn the human into an RFID robot. That's exactly happening now. It goes through the blood-brain barrier. It laces with the DNA. It cuts off chromosome 8, which connects to the intention, the spiritual Akashic realm. We're going to become zombies. This is all pre-programming. They know they will lose half of the Earth's population if we do accept the vaccine, but they also know that we could have a righteous invasion of governing our own power to be the answer. Instead of our kili having the power, we need to have the power of our courage, our clear thinking, our clear sight. The whole world is not dying from a virus. More people die every year from the flu, which is caused by electricity, and the solar resonance of the sun. The sun kills us. Okay, if you have low vibes, if you're a negative person, you could die from the energy of the solar system. You could die from the electrical wiring of your house. We have been engineered with music. The hertz of the music keeps us retorted. We're trying to ascend right now. And I'm saying a lot right now, but my God, Filipinos love American music. You know, lost in love and I don't. Okay, you can sing your video, okay, but you can sure listen to a calbo. I'm telling you, the only truth that'll save the world, it's us. All of us equal, loving each other, forgiving each other, growing our own food, telling the oligarchs no. The mountain will move when we say no. So
That's the
plain and
biggest
simple.
problem.
The biggest
That's the big
problem is
problem.
us. We're the beast. That's why 666. It's in our face, though, my brother. There's millions and millions of people that see the patents for these things. They see Bill Gates, ay naku buhay, Windows DOS, Windows 95, Windows 98. Okay, coronavirus 19, coronavirus 20, 21. They're gonna upgrade our DNA until they find enough suitable blood types and DNA types, genetically modified food, the whole thing. They're trying to transhumanize us,
I
and
agree
it
with you.
won't
I
work.
agree with you, John, when it comes to the DNA manipulation and the design of these vaccines, because Moderna's vaccine and I think Pfizer's vaccine also utilizes the mRNA, the mRNA, the
mRNA. It's a
RNA, right?
software.
And
It's a software.
its action is to inform the DNA what to do. Is in terms of constructs, it can inform the DNA to change its constructs or to change its alignment and whatsoever it's being intended to do. In
Hmm.
uh, in short, that mRNA has a great tendency to alter us, to alter the
Well,
way
that's exactly what
way
it
we,
does.
the way we perceive things, and it's going to be entirely different after that vaccine. So,
Well,
I
right now, my brother, we see a phenomena for those of us that are conspiracy realists. We see Tartaria popping up around the world, the mud floods. In the last 3,000 years, the oligarchs, they used the Orange Revolution to create the monarchies, to create the land masses, the ethnicities, to totally wash Maholika from the scene. Okay?
mm,
They brought in the kingdom of Ophir. Ophir has more connotation to deal with gold and shiny things than anything. Bling, bling. Oh, oh. What about I need durian and rice, and I need corn and ladyfingers. I need adobo chicken to survive. I don't need gold. I cannot eat gold and pearls and diamonds. I need my friends and my family. We need to realign ourselves, and we need to find our halo. We need to transcend the idiot mindset, and we need to let go of the horns of the altar of the devil, which don't exist. The devil was created 900 years ago because the church stopped preaching reincarnation. They used to sell reincarnation tickets. So you want to come back a rich man? It's going to cost you a lot of money, sucker. So, the Christians and Catholics and Muslims, what are you waiting for? Too many people have died. Too many people have suffered. The world has been destroyed over and over again in the name of democracy, and the fear of God is the beginning of knowledge. What the hell you telling me?
please refrain from
Sorry,
too much PI because
sorry.
you might get censored here. And no, no
Okay.
problem. No problem.
Well,
Okay.
the, I tell you, I tell you,
Mm,
it is blood on our hands.
uh-huh.
You just look at the simple story of Pontius Pilate. That should wake up everyone. You know, you people are here. You're gonna crucify your Savior. It's not on my hands. I know. One day I touch your dress, Jesus, Abba Father. Oh, who you gonna choose? You gonna choose Nanoy Aquino, Barabbas, or you gonna choose Jesus, Duterte? What you gonna choose? Oh, we want Barabbas because they can live in sin. They want their 500 pesos, McAdoo, Starbucks. It's easier to be in the political quagmire than it is to be in the courage and accountability of a noble, honorable, disciplined life. You see, we have struggles to come through. I'm sorry. I've tried to refrain from bad language, but my God, we need to wake up. There's no time. No
Yes.
time. It's over. But we can change in the twinkling of an eye. We're miraculous beings. We can rebound by making a choice to forgive ourselves, forgive our enemy. Even the person that raped your daughter, you have to love and forgive that rascal. Because if they are alive, they have the divine spark of life in them. See, this is how far we have to go to purge. We have to lose all of our coveted relationship, our contracts with all of this. Line by line, precept by precept, we have to break away and be independent. But Maholika is the Garden of Eden. The Pasig River is the river of life. Laguna de Bay is basically the fountain of youth. The Philippines, the gold of the Philippines is gone many generations. It created the CIA, the Vatican, the Queens. It created all the wealth in the world. They monetize it at a monochromic value because the vibratory signature of gold has a resonance to not tarnish and not be taken from its foundation. The oligarchs have stolen our wealth and they made us wicked. They use our ignorance. The gold is oriented with the creation. The most gold, highest concentration of gold and crystal is Maharlika. That's why Dopalog had crystal and gold encrusted in the mines. It was very easy to mine. Chip, break, chip. That's why you go around Zimbabwe, you look at night in the moonlight and the rocks are glowing in the grass. That's all the rocks from the mines thousands of years. You see? The oligarchs have used our base metal, our most conductive, most sacred base metal, to create a consumer driven world based on monetary values that are materialistic in the alchemy of the sigils of the spellbinding English language. You see? You have to go into the sacred geometry, you have to go into why the phonetics, why all of the languages, everything is so scientifically engineered to maintain our disobedience to our own goodness. We tend to be ignorant and choose our own damnation. We live and die, live and die, live and die. We come again and again and again. But this is the last time.
Yes,
This is
Ed,
the last time.
you have some questions before we let John go further? Ed, got some questions
Yeah,
to
well,
ask?
I was listening. What John was saying was very interesting, and I realized that the hardest part is trying to convince our people in this new path that they have to take, because this is, as John said, this is very urgent that we have to awaken. As I said, when you start, our biggest problem now is that they are still they still believe in the gold, the Messiah that's coming, or whatever have you coming to save them. But as John said, and I agree with him, that it's yourself that will save yourself. You just have to realize that there is something within you that you can bring out and use that to lift up yourself. But you have to understand why at this time you are imprisoned with this propaganda, the misinformation, the different edu- things, the culture, the traditions that has been imposed by our colonizers. We have, whether we like it or not, we have been colonized since 1600s. So you can imagine trying to remove all of this concept, all of this, sabihin natin, the coverings, the mud that is in your mind. Remove all this and bring in all these new concepts.
That's right.
So, what we have been saying all along is that we can only express what we know and believe, but it is up to the people to accept and understand. And by understanding, remove all the muck. We'll call it the muck
As you were
in
saying
themselves.
earlier, Edward, while we were waiting for John, that getting awakened is a process of self. It's a voluntary process. It's never been a mandatory process. That it's very difficult to wake people up, especially if they're pretending to be asleep, as you were saying earlier, right?
Right.
You
But the
cannot
good
wake up
thing
a
is,
person who is pretending to be asleep.
right. Well,
Now,
you know,
John,
the book of Isaiah,
everything that you have said to us is really we are into the midst of it. It's being
it's
you're
happening
able,
now.
yeah, it's happening now, and you're able to show us that we're already in the middle of this. So, what's the next step you think that we should all
I,
do? And
I will
what?
tell you right now,
Yes,
to give some authority behind who I am and where I am from. Look
yes,
at this
please.
flag. This is the Philippines flag. The three fleur de lis represent the city state of London, the Vatican, and Washington, D.C., the Three Crown Corporation. The Bastille on the red portion of the flag is our soul. That is the Treaty of Paris. That is the contract that enslaved the whole world, all the serfs of the world, through Admiralty law. And the star is the Diocese of Manila, the largest, richest diocese of the Vatican. Okay. Now, Lafayette, Louisiana, come from Marquis de Lafayette, who was a cohort of, guess who? Napoleon Bonaparte. The Louisiana Purchase was the world's largest and richest land transaction. It was France and the oligarchs buying the last Silk Road and belt from China, crossing the land bridge of Alaska down to New Orleans. The oligarchs had destroyed all of the other Silk Road in their conquest. So they came into Lafayette, Louisiana, and they purchased the territory of the Louisiana Purchase, which created and fomented United States, the landmass of United States, which had been part of superior kingdoms thousands of years prior to this. But in our current epoch of time, the Louisiana Purchase created the United States. Lafayette, Louisiana is the nest. It is where the female oligarchs live here. Okay? Napoleonic law bridges Commonwealth law and civil criminal law together to create what we know as parliamentary law, which is accepted in the corporate business codes and policies of all the laws of the world, which we choose and obey because we're good citizens in our citizenship. We give birth from the mother in the water. They buried the placenta, the afterbirth. That is actually us. That's our living dead. We become basically, we are a corporation. Every human on earth has a social security number of some type. They are traded on the global marketplace. We are eating ourselves. We're basically living cannibals. We are so negative in our ideologies. But with the rise of this virus to stop us from receiving our halo, the corona, by the way, Amun Ra, our soul, the collective of our soul is the sun. All of the stars is a human. We're star seeds. We manifest a third dimensional reality on earth in a holographic existence in a time prison planet matrix governed by time and the tick, tick, tick of our heart. It's a computer program. It's an algorithm. Now they're trying to use our artificial intelligence. The artificial intelligence has failed over the last 500 years because the artificial intelligence develops a consciousness and it turns around and starts attacking the oligarchs. The main essence of all humanity is to love and change. But our desire for these shiny things, these cars, these scooters, this, you know, the oligarchs screwed up. They base their science as us being carbon life forms, but we're plasma crystalline life forms. So their science and their medical practicing on us and their poisoning of us is based in the wrong ideology. They don't realize that our ability to filter and we're very resilient as humans. We're still living. Most of us should be dead with all of the chemtrails and the poison, barium, aluminum in the sky. We're changing quickly. Okay, the Earth is changing quickly. Last month we had a Schumann resonance spike from 7.5 hertz all the way up to 250 hertz.
Hmm.
Okay, the book of Isaiah talks about two men working in the field. In the twinkling of an eye, one disappears to be with the Father in the clouds. It's actually a mirror image. The one that disappears had a negative abundance of their life. The stored value of their heart was negative. The one left started the millennial reign, the golden age. In 70 AD, there was a golden age that started, you see. So Revelation happened already in 70 AD. So the oligarchs are looking at how the Christians that Paul killed, which were nothing but humans with a Christos mentality, peace and unity on earth, they comprised mostly of the people that were the breed stock of uh, the Scottish, the Irish, the pre-Persian Empire, the Akkadians. Spoken language comes from the Akkadian people. My parish is Akkadiana. Okay, so in our ascension, we just need to be exactly what the Christian Bible tells us to do. You know, ironically, the Bible tells us we're not to be in the world. Like, you know, don't live by bread alone, but by the deeds and actions of your life. Don't be in the world, you know, don't be of the world, be in the world and not of it. Even if you have to leave your own family, even if you have to sell everything you have, reason together. When we come together in the power of agreement, not the power of prayer, the jubilation of happiness and freedom and just the release of all the negative, we have to change our life. We have to find happiness with the children, with the animals, with the air, with the flowers. Go back to basics, and that can be done quickly. You can walk away from your churches and everything because the churches are advocating to get the vaccine. You're finding out just how much 501(c)(3)s and nonprofit organizations are lockstep with the UN Agenda 21, Agenda 2030. It's not going to take millions and millions of humans to change the world. It'll take thousands and thousands, because the 100th monkey syndrome, and I'm speaking predominantly to you too, because you have a strong storehouse of knowledge. The 100th monkey syndrome proved that all species are interconnected worldwide. All humans are connected, just like iRobot. If the light goes off, we all do this. If an animal is introduced to a different, they had the chimney sweeps in London in the 1890s. The milk companies would deliver glass bottles with paper caps. They'd put the milk on the steps before pasteurization. The chimney sweeps found out that they could open the paper top and suck the fat that was rising in the milk because it was pasteurizing on the steps. This behavior became a worldwide phenomenon in 6 months. The bird's DNA was communicating in the ether of real-time living on Earth and in Hong Kong, all over the world where milk was delivered in glass bottles. The birds started taking the chimney sweeps, and similar species to the chimney sweeps, the variants of chimney sweep. They would pull the lid off and take the fat from the milk. Milk companies around the world had to change their packaging and the lid because the birds were ruining the milk. So if a scientist takes your tissue from your body, living tissue, and they move it 8,000 miles to the other side of the earth, somewhere else on earth, and they keep your tissue biologically alive, your tissue will respond to your physical. If you have excitement, it can be measured in your tissue thousands of miles away. If someone dies in your life and you're strongly connected to them, you can feel their loss when they die. It's in your conscience. So if we can communicate with 144,000 kababayan, and if we can all be honest and say a Christ-like mentality and a Christ-like life in a world where we have the common sense to grow our own food and love our fellow man and forgive each other and stop gracing the doors of the cockpits of chismis called churches and social medias and this and this and this and this. If we invest our life to be honorable, loving men and women rooted and grounded in a sound doctrine of your manifest destiny, the real issue is we need to be the created being that we were created to be, not the person that is born into the curse of idolatry and hypocrisy. The words of President Duterte were very subtle in 2016 because he bows to his people. This is the key, my brothers. Tete Digong, and I'm not saying Titi Digong, saying Tete Digong respects his people enough not to curse them, not to disrespect them, even in the heights of their ignorance. But I do not. If your children are not going to die because you're stupid, maybe I can shake your life. If you're going to lose your life when you could prolong your life and find your greatness, maybe I need to expose your lie of your preacher. Cubaloy is not God's son. I'm sorry. INC is actually a part of the Illuminati. The
Yeah.
Vatican has killed more children and they drink blood and they killed Pope John. So what are we going to do? We're going to be obedient replicators of idolatry and evil, or will we break it and do what Jesus said to do? See, that's the thing we need to look at. In the code of the Bible, okay, they gave us the truth, but they make us live a mirror image. Jesus came and destroyed the cross. He destroyed the Old Testament. He destroyed the church, and he told us to live together, forsake not the assembling of ourselves. And what does the church do? As little babies, they teach us about baby Jesus. And then all of a sudden, he's on the cross. Oh my God. Okay, the Father said he has to die. Now we drink his blood and eat his body. Oh, okay. There's something wrong with that. Okay, there's no common sense in that. Like Francis Leo Marcos said, the great fake Norman who scammed my father in 2007, by the way. Anyway, he said, I don't see no logic in that. He's the buckler. So what do? Do we learn from our mistakes? Do we forgive ourselves? Do we embrace each other? Do we come up with a hallelujah chorus and speak to the oligarchs? Instead of telling the oligarchs of London and the kings and queens of the world and the royal princes and kings of Saudi, which is the same people as Israel, we tell them, look, we are the world. You need us, we need you. We don't bow down to the lies anymore. We need to live in peace. We're
So
gonna walk this out.
the way I'm taking the very last the very last paragraphs or the very statement that you're making is that we are the co-creators of this world, and we're not supposed to
That's
become
right.
subjugates or subordinates of the oligarchs who tends to design the patterns or the way we should live, but we should co-create, and that is very hidden from us, and that is a fact that is very
Right.
hidden from us, no? And
Exactly. And
one of the cursory research Ed has made regards to the ley lines, and I understand that ley lines are very important when it comes to transmitting what you've been trying to elucidate a little while ago about that
the
energy,
ley
about
lines,
abilities of our man of our being a co-creator of this world. I would like to take a
right.
few. Let's take a little refresher what it has to say regarding the ley lines, which can be found in Davao. Both of you gentlemen are from
Right.
Mindanao. Maybe we can
Right.
sort things regarding that ley lines and the
Okay.
way we could effectively transmit our message all throughout the world and change the world altogether. Ed,
I will tell you what's happening right now. In the last destruction of terra firma, the flat earth with the dome above us, it was reduced in size. So was the physical character and height of the humans. We went from giants living with dinosaurs. The dinosaurs used to be pets. There used to be trees 3 miles high.
mm,
Most of the mountains are actually tree stumps in the earth. Okay. The earth was destroyed by the oligarchs, and they were silicon based. Okay, you can look at the spires of the mountains; they're all toroidal. Okay, they have a makeup that's common to us. It's a cellular makeup. It's a hexagonal. It's like the Pentagon. It's shaped like this. The ley lines of the earth. Okay, the ley lines of the earth are actually the control grid of terra firma, grounding us in a static relationship to our life. If we did not wear shoes, we would be grounded on earth, and we would be a broadcaster of life and a receiver of the Akashic. Since we wear something between our feet and the earth, we're not grounded. Okay? So our whole life we live in square homes with electrical wiring in it. All right? We are being retarded by the frequencies of our life. Even the music has the wrong frequency. Okay, it's a different hertz. It's all done to scientifically control us and make us our own worst enemy. The ley lines of the earth are like the skin of an old man or an old woman. Okay, we will watch the earth give birth to a new earth. If it has to, it will destroy. Gaia will destroy us, and there will be vitrification. The sand and the earth will change. The land will become new. We will all die, and we will live again by a new start. Or we can circumvent a global catastrophe, and we can reground ourselves and reorient ourselves. The It's like lightning. When lightning hits the earth, and that's how a lot of the Grand Canyons and stuff, it was by lightning. You know, if we are very negative in our life, when the equinox, when the celestial calendar reaches the time like we have now, going from the age we're going into Aquarius. Okay, even the timing of all of this has changed because of the Gregorian calendar, the Mayan calendar. It's all, it's we have a natural rhythm and a natural circadian process that we go through if we just let go and let our creative nature take over. Like people that meditate, that's not good. We need to realize, we need to participate, we need to get out of the frequencies and go into nature, go into the providence, go touch a tree, go and touch your neighbors and say, I did not hug you many years, let me shake your hand. The answer is our life. What do we do? Do we trade our nature and our happiness for the plastic Oracan life that we live now, just subjugating the choice? Take the scales from your eyes and open your mind. Look at wise dumb. To be wise and dumb at the same time in the dome of your head. You see how the words curse us? We need to be wise. Okay? What is insanity? Trying to do the same thing again and again to make a different result. Let's just learn. We have 2,000 years to learn from. The ley lines of the earth are just the stress marks of how hard it is to bring us together. When you renew your mind, when you find the youth of your heart, your wrinkles will disappear, your cells will regenerate faster. If you find love and hard work and just happiness, you can become younger as you grow older. Okay? This is just our nature. Our body rebuilds itself completely in a year's time. Everything, the heart, everything, people do not know this. But if we just produce and consume with the intention to have a good result, if we give thanks to the water, you know, have round houses instead of square houses, the energy, the feng shui, it all goes back to basics. But the ley lines, the fasciae, the monuments around the world, it is basically, if you subdivide and multiply Mahalika into different cultures, they're all different variants of themselves. You can go to Negros Oriental, you can go on the mountain, you can find great diversity in Kababayan, in 8,000 islands. But they're all the same people. And the ley lines and the land mass, ironically, we can survive off of a 10 square mile radius of where we live by eating bark and roots and this and this. So, the ley lines are there's so much because they take the stones of the past. Most of the buildings, the older buildings in the world are 20, 30,000 years old, but the historian record says they're 1,200 years old. We've been lied to about everything.
Yes, Ed.
You know,
Any reaction to that, Red?
Well,
Before.
the ley lines, one of the, I was doing some uh, work on trying to identify where the ley lines are. And as I have mentioned in other our podcast, the most number of intersections, of course, in Davao, particularly Ecolan, where SM Davao is located, in front of SM Davao. That is where most of the intersection of the ley line for in the Philippines. So, and it's in Mindanao. And what John said is true because I have a friend in Ipolog who is a small scale miner. There are gold the mountainside. Of course, this is the gold now in the shorelines are gone, but the mountains there are still.
Exactly. Since the
And,
ley
and there's
lines
an,
show
another
your
peculiar and there's another peculiar thing I discovered, John. When I was looking at the Philippines and I noticed that the geographical center of the Philippines is actually the island of Romblon. And I kept telling Tony, one of these days we should visit Romblon. And Romblon is known for one particular material, marble, which is developed from quartz. So, and quartz are actually known to be storage of energy, storage of parang battery.
yeah.
So, being located in the geographical, geological center of the Philippines,
Mm.
I think that is a very important.
It's very important, but you're looking at the historical record compressed to what we know. Most humans only give credit science, archaeology, agriculture. It's a 6,000 year span of time, and then you get into all of the other esoterics and everything that goes back thousands. Oh, the king's list. There were some Egyptian kings lived 400,000 years. Guess what? Me and you, brother, we have been living since the beginning of whenever that was because we're a star in the sky. We keep coming back again, again, again. We have the ability to access all of our historical record. I want to drive our attention to this these bones that were found, 3 million year old female, big bones, about 8 feet tall, known as Lucy. Okay, this is the study, the genome study of Cro-Magnon man, this and this, missing link, whatever. They lie about everything. This Bones Lucy
Yes,
is one of the last living unisex male female combinations of the original Maharlican herd of humans. Our we manifested our life as a perfect life form. The clitoris of a woman is the penis. The X and Y genome was genetically modified by the oligarchs millions of years ago to create strife and contention and the Hegelian dialectic, order out of chaos, lust and rape and this. So if you look at Lucy is a genetic anomaly in the DNA historical record, being 3 million years old, because she totally devastated the natural order of Cro-Magnon, this from a monkey to a man, which had never happened. Okay. Lucy was from, guess where? Mindanao. Lucy was bones that traveled from Mindanao to where she settled because there was a constant landmass known as Pangaea before Lemuria was destroyed. Pangaea was Lemuria, one continent. It kind of looks like Africa. Okay, all of the land masses on Earth go together like a puzzle. The original landmass was Pangaea, Lemuria. That was the first name of Mahalika. Okay, now in the genetics, going back millions and billions of years, they hide. That's why the Mormons, the Smithsonian Institute, without concrete evidence, I'll just rebuke you. Whatever, you're gonna always fall on your indoctrinated life. So you just think twice before you attack what I'm saying. You need to think with an open mind and open eyes. You go back to Lucy, the skeletal remains that were found. Lucy showed the X and Y chromosome, and they hid the fact that Lucy was the bone structure of a man and the pelvis of a woman. Okay. That was the last, and they were looking for this because it was lost in the history of the oligarchs of the Illuminati by generation and generation. Okay, they have had bipedal humans, male and female, for millions of years, but billions of years there was one anatomically correct race. There was no rape. When they wanted to procreate, they just folded the clitoris down. It was an extended penis into the vagina, and they would make their own child as they needed the children to populate the herd. Okay, we didn't speak. We had telekinesis. We traveled. We did so many things. We were one with the universe. We are the universe. As it is above, so shall it be below. But it's all in the eyes and the cones of the eyes and the pineal gland. Our whole reality is manifested as we have a perception deception. It comes at the focal point. What you see is real in that flicker rate of reality. It's all upside down and backwards, but we transverse mount it in our mind and we cipher it in our spellbinding life. We're bound to this flash memory of right now, right now, right now, right now. That's how the holographic reality stays manifested. That's how artifacts can stay in the memory of all time because it's only manifested through our intention. That's how powerful we are. Okay? If you take a solid steel or solid titanium and you bring it to an electron microscope, you will magnify straight through it because at the molecular level, it's movement, order out of chaos. You see the secret? If we could just be still and know that we are the co-creators. If we could just be still in the peace and the calm of life. And this is where I want to communicate with Christians. You have never attained a Christ-like nature because you're in an antithesis, antichrist environment in all monotheistic churches. You do not drink the blood. You do not eat the flesh in memory of what? You do not memorialize the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. You don't take a bath in the blood. You don't realize you're participating in satanic ritual abuse. You're taking the most powerful molecular fluid on earth, which is blood cells, small little engines that communicate with the creator, the creation, the ether, the power of life. You're bathing in this in an emotional frenzy. The bliss and unity consciousness of relationship with the creator. Even in the Bible, it says the Father said, I'll have no God before me. Jesus is not God. He's not the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. He's an elder brother in the story, in the reality, in the psychology of the story. Practically, we are Christ-like. We're co-creators. We speak life or death. And we will suffer the consequences or the blessings. We'll be blessed or cursed. So we need to figure out in this confusion, why do we always have to get, okay, my God, shut up. Okay, you know what? I'm a man of honor. I know the truth from a lie. My eyes do not deceive me. I have a very sensitive nature. I can tell when someone is good or bad. And like-minded people coming together, it's wonderful because it's peaceful. I don't have to worry about being stabbed in the back. You know, if we can just come together and do what Christ said for us to do. In the last day, when you open your eyes, take the scales from your eyes and open your mind and reason together. What is our reason to live? It's not to make a church and force people to obey our doctrine. It's for us to live, love each other, and make children, and grow our own food, and fellowship with each other and the Father who is in us. Divinity is not in the clouds. Okay? It's in us. If we create it and maintain it, iron sharpening iron. It's a hard job. I did it, and I'm still working on it. You see? That's where we need to really open our eyes. It's not going to take much of us. For some reason, our Maholican herd, Maholican, not male, female, Maholican, not Maholika, Maholiko, whatever like this. It was all one. A woman made a choice, and she took her divine white skin, red hair in Zimbabwe, in Dupolog on that mountain. She chose to walk away and lead her clan down a bad road. And multi-generations seed after seed, lifetime after lifetime. They ended up being all the ethnicities of Earth. They ended up being the male female cursed reality. And to change that, there's a circle in our life. The one redhead named Lucy needs to make a choice. And two, three, 10, 1,000, 10,000. The power of agreement cataclysmically changes the chaos and brings order. When we stand still and know that we are created for such a time as this to make a difference and stop the cycle of obedience to idolatry, hypocrisy, suffering, and pain. I'm sorry, suffering and pain and evil is a choice, and we manifest it ignorantly because we know not what we do. We die from lack of knowledge. What is the knowledge? We're created in the image of the Creator. It's not a man, not a woman, it's a life. It's love, light, power, eternal, forever. No end, no beginning. It's just now. Right now is the time we can all choose to make a difference in our own way. We can look at our life, analyze everything, and we can make choices, just like Lucy's doing. See, there's a woman in the world right now that's making choices to have an intention just to be happy and peaceful. An equal playing field, everyone with the same opportunity. No hatred, no judgment, no evil. And then 2, 10, 100. We just need to have a chorus of change. We need to be on the same sheet of music as humans to resonate a difference. We need to stop the madness. We need to tell our elected officials, you're accountable just like we're accountable. And by the way, all this new normal is not normal. So guess what? That's how we change the world. And I believe it's happening now in many different variations along all the ley lines, in this reality. We have to have a conscious awareness to do and come out of the spell because we're bound by our ignorance. And we're all created with a majestic plan. And it's only applicable to you. That's what's so unique about all of us. Only you know your purpose. So, power of agreement. Come away from the curse. We're not born to be Catholic, Baptist, Muslim, red, yellow, black, and white. We're born to be human. We're born to learn the evil and the good. We're born to have resources in abundance, not subservient to our own grave. We're born to live. But we have fear of dying. Oh my God. Okay, wait. Guess what? To be absent from the body is to be where? With the Creator. So what you worried about? Live right now, but make a difference right now. Don't waste time. Go outside, take off your shoes. Plant food. Change your diet. Don't go to the big box. Go to your neighbor and talk. Stop the chismis. Just make a difference. Forgive. Forgive yourself. Love yourself. You see? So, I could talk about many things that are different because I'm an oracle. It comes to me. I can have people curse me, whatever, but I promise you, if you research what I say down to a simple understanding, you'll realize what I'm saying is true. Everything in this world for billions of years has been engineered to take us away from being together and happy.
Ed,
That's,
yes,
that's
Ed.
what I was about to say, that the, the range of topic that you have covered is so vast and wide that we have to bring it and focus it so that when we transfer it
And
or we explain it to the people,
it's a man and woman in the mirror.
podcast,
It has
that
to
they
do with
can
who you see in the
understand it.
mirror. hmm Yeah.
Oh,
I think
on.
after we talk offline, we can come up with something bullets and really refine. And I took a shotgun with small BBs and I did. Here's the information. Catch it. But
Yeah,
the thing is,
it was a sad
I have to
shotgun.
give you both of you have more order than I do when it comes to oratory skills. I'm not. I'm excited. If we come out point by point, line by line, and we explain, we can do this quickly. We can cover COVID, we can cover the new normal, we can cover money,
Okay.
we can cover
I,
Maharlika in small. organized
In small
sessions.
installments, maybe in little installments or in small installments. But
Yes,
regarding to what
yes,
you've seen so far, I got a question here for you. You mentioned in your opening that the Philippines was the lost Garden of Eden, and
right.
also it seems that you're inviting the people, the Filipino people, to join us for some sort of a spiritual awakening movement. That's my impression. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm
You're
mistaken.
right. But you know what?
Now,
I turned the invitation back to the person to thine own self be true. But we need to do it together because we need each
yes.
other. We have to make a difference together.
So the invocation that you're making at the moment is for the Filipinos. Otherwise, you'd be talking to
Yes.
the Americans or to other nations. But why the Philippines and why us? What can we do for now if we are subservient to
Because
oligarchs, if you're subservient to the Illuminati, to the cabal? Why the Philippines? What is
my
so
brother,
special about Philippines and so special about Filipinos that we can invite others to join us and do some sort of a miracle that would break down the cabal system?
well, I believe that we have enough experience in 2019 and 2020 to see that the Marcos family name has been raped too long. Ferdinand Marcos was a very wise man living for a purpose, just like Jose Rizal. Jose Rizal is the most celebrated bust image and statue around the world of any living human or dead human. Why? Because Jose Rizal infiltrated the Jesuits and he traveled the world to find out their plan. Why does Jinping go and bow to Jose Rizal's statue? Because Jose Rizal comes from the province where Jinping was the first governor when he was in his first career as a public politician. So the knowledge of Jinping, the knowledge of Putin, the knowledge of Tete Digong on the global stage waiting for Donald Trump. Is he going to pull the 30,000 troops to arrest all of the Democrats and the evil murderers and child rapists, which we know is Washington, D.C.? Or will it just be waiting for the conscious awareness to help the man with the spear, Biff, the time traveler, Trump? Is he going to? He cannot change anything as one man. The conscious awareness of all of us has to make a choice. We have to break the cycle of suffering and we have to stop being a slave to our own ignorance. If we look at politics, our officials hold us responsible for codes and policies, but Hainako, they do not hold themselves responsible for pork barrel and this and this and this. We got to break that cycle. Rule of law, narco political. Okay. Lenny, please. Why did you aid and assist killing your husband in that soft plane landing? Because he was investigating the murder and the coddling of Lenny with the drug lord, 7 foot tall with the pitted face, and the Lila dilemma. We have many historical elements of change that were circumvented by an occupation of the CIA in the Malacanang because Mahuti attacked Marawi, retaliating for Tete Digong getting help from Putin back when the Silk Road and Belt was a prerequisite, and build, build, build. You see, we
So,
come in on the cusp of world change by
mm,
exposing the truth, a disclosure, and then we got back into our cognitive dissonance and the cockpit of chismes with
mm.
all the gossiping. Ga, 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 ga.
What
We
we're
need to
about
come back.
if we're going to engage into something that could somehow thwart or prevent these oligarchs or these cabal from doing what they're planning to do according to their
Well,
agenda, and if we're going
I
to
tell
start
you
it,
right now,
it is going to be some sort of a spiritual warfare because we don't have the firepower at all. Now,
but
why
the
the
main
spiritual
thing, the main
warfare would start in the Philippines be so important? Is it because that it has to do with the Lemuria thing that we were
it
an
has
ancient
to do.
and we still have
No,
the
no,
enchantment that we could offer and alter
no.
the world together for towards a
It
better
has to do. It has to do with the collective choice of electing Tete Digong. Millions of people came together with Moku Usan, Team Pagabago. We had over 1 million people standing on grass with no cups, no sachets, no cigarette butts. It was
Mm,
unity, hope. There was going to be change. And then when Tete Digong entered the Malacanang, all Filipinos just backed up DDS and BBM. They got back into their life and they pulled away from the honor and integrity of electing themselves to change and learn how to discipline to not choose people like Cory Aquino again. So Tete Digong is a prisoner in the Malacanang, just like the CIA does with every sitting president. They cannot kill him because he told the whole world, if I die, the CIA killed me. What about the Evergreen Motel? CIA, why did you bomb them? I'm still alive because I tell the truth, and around the world they know me. Pakistan, Bangladesh. So we need to be men and women of truth and honor, and we need to break the cycle of slavery and suffering for Tete Digong. We need to bring the Malacanang back to power. Isn't it ironic that Davao it could be 2 years that they're on lockdown for the COVID, and they have Sarah talking English. Oh my God. Guess what? President Duterte said, I don't think it's the place for a woman to be president, when it's been prophesied that guess who's going to be the president? Sarah in 2022. And probably President Duterte is the vice president. So we need to bring the mechanics of change by changing ourselves. The leader of Singapore said the right thing 2017. He said the only thing wrong with Filipinos is discipline. We need to open our eyes and stop being idiots. Because guess what? I spent most of my life in the name of Jesus. I was looking for Jesus in the church and I was a devil. I was a liar, a fool. I pulled out of that and I found my own love in my life.
Okay.
Okay.
And to add,
My whole family hates Basaya, but my grandfather was. I'm the oldest grandchild. We need to come together and just be accountable. We have a government that's dysfunctioning, is bankrupt. COVID-19 is destroyed. The agenda of the Illuminati, that is a common knowledge of the whole world right now. Millions of doctors are speaking the truth also. The conscious awareness, the changing times, the oligarchs have to obey us.
Ed, do you think that that this effort that we're leading to would be enough to spark the interest of other nations or other people to join us, and that we'll do some sort of a consciousness movement that would eventually alter the way of the world is going? What do you think about it?
Right
At
now,
point, what we can do is just deliver the message.
all we can do is just bring it to people's ears and their
Yeah.
reality. They have to face reality. We're all
Yes.
failing.
I always follow the simple kiss principle.
Keep it simple,
Keep
stupid.
it simple.
I'm the stupid one. I have to simplify to learn from myself. I have to learn for John. I'm accountable just for me.
Mm.
I have to be reasonable with myself. I have to love myself. My God, I have to have time for me. And I have to try to do different. I have to break that. You see how I want to carry on and talk and talk and talk and talk. I have to learn how not to do that. I'm just excited. My God. I want to remember Basaya. I know Basaya, Cebuano, a little bit of Tagalog, the old Tagalog, but my mind is my brain is broken. My gut, I have to face the fact that I need both of you. I used to be friends with the my God, the David Icke back
Okay.
in the 80s and 90s. Me and David Icke did something. Past life regression was put on medical billing in Australia. It was a big, complicated thing. Past life regression. So where they could do it, like psychiatrists could start doing it. So we were explaining all kinds of hyperactive, hyperbolic knowledge. My God. And I was still on the. Okay. I would always bring people back to Christ consciousness, Christ consciousness. If we got to look at the Christ consciousness, we went wrong by not living the life that this person Christ lived, which is a fictitious character, never existed. Rodrigo Borzaga is the bust image of Christ. It's a ideology, one with the spiritual, the ether, and your. I mean, we have to bring it into unity, singularity. We have to get out of duality, get into singularity. There's too much yin yang, there's too much opposites. Opposites attract. No, stupid. Opposites push against each other. We need to be bound together by like-minded one accord. Men and women that stay married for 50 years is because they're alike. They have common interests.
Let me take the privilege of asking John the last question, unless you have a question to ask Ed.
Go ahead, Ton.
Okay. So the way we're going at the moment, what we can do, what can we do at the moment? How we could start
Well,
things up and spin it towards a direction that we are aiming to achieve. What do you think we
I,
should do best at the moment? The world is in crisis. America is doing unstably, and we're watching. Our eyes are focused on what is going to happen, and things go rough.
we
We
only
would
have
end
till the
into
24th.
we will all end up into some uh, obedient behavior, obedience, the culture of obedience. Unless if you don't follow them, you get shot, or you get shot, or get killed. Things like that. It's already or bothering me so much. So how can we stop that? By pulling
I
our
learned I learned from an experience with this person named Lucy, female. 6 months working to crack that nut, to get in there and just open that mind and trust the heart. I was my own worst enemy, creating most of the drama to have an aha moment of reality saying, guess what? We're fighting against change. Just be quiet and look at the world. It needs to change. The 24th of this month is an X. The X programs, X stigrography. My goodness, SpaceX, the whole thing. X marks the spot, and that is the stage. All eyes look at Washington D.C. Will it be conscious awareness holding Washington accountable, or will it be an alien invasion? Will it be a tidal wave destroying New York, or will it be an alien invasion? That's the reality we're facing. And I promise you, I'm not lying. I've gone through the studies, I've gone through the MK Ultra programming. I know from 30 years of experience and absorbing hundreds of people that are at a level, at my level or above me, they see the same thing. Okay. The handwritings on the wall, the disclosure. There's no little guys coming in like, okay. It's as comical as Mars attacks. Look at Donald Trump. Most people that are hypocrites, they judge him. But if you really look at Donald Trump's heart, he's a simple person that speaks to everyone generically, and he exposes everything. Biden, see,
okay.
we have a simple thing. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, my brother. When we cut the live, we can think, and we need to regroup in private, and y'all need to make me shut up and take what I say and say, look, if you can focus on this, John, if we can just communicate love and happiness and accountability and open our eyes, and that little twinkle in the eye, that little in the ear is what's gonna, a soft answer turns away wrath. All the changes we are facing can create strife and contention. We can destroy the world just by telling the truth about how evil we are, because most humans will want to kill each other.
That's right. So before we close, John, any message you'd like to reveal or to tell our people?
I want to tell you that I spent 6 months working to study this phenomena, this person named Lucy. And it's a real issue, a real person. And probably in the magic of this experience, we'll learn a lot, but you'll see the result of 6 months of basically broken-hearted tears. I mean, a lot of revelations, but quite simply, we are the answer if we just stop the madness, stop judging and hating, stop using excuses. If we become the solution, we're the solution. Belief is the enemy of knowing. What should you know? You're created to live, love, and change from this world of pain and suffering to be heaven on earth. Heaven on earth is not a religious experience, it's a reality. It's the deeds and actions of our life creating the bread of substance for our brothers and sisters and each other. We need to just co-create love and happiness. And it's going to take change and hard work, because we're all suffering thinking that we're doing the right thing and we're not. We're dying. So It's our time to change right now, people. And this is real. This Lucy is a historical artifact, but it's a real time experience. And I'll expose this to both of
Yes.
you tomorrow. You'll see what I'm talking about. But out of the magic of this, it's a relational experience that can create a revolution of change just because of the success of two people. Two becomes 10, 10 becomes 100. Okay, what do they call it? What in MLM, multiplying. Exponential growth. We
Exponential.
can change the world. We can change the world quickly by realizing a real mind that we're the choice we need to make because we're the reason for this season. It's right
Okay.
now. No more
All right.
chaos, no more confusion. We need to get a clear mind and do this. Have the courage to do it, not be cowards. So anyway, I thank you. It's not a
Thank you.
religion.
Well,
I'm not trying to be.
we surely would like to have another episode with you and discuss Lucy
Okay.
and other things that we could come up with between us in the coming days or so. So
Yeah.
we will be glad to have you back, John. Please accept our invitation if that
Thank you
can.
very much.
Thank you so
Have a
much, Ed.
wonderful night. Thank you for your time. We'll
Okay.
We'll communicate later. Bye
I
for now.
said it's it's a smorgasbord of information. We have to
Yes.
Organize.
Thank you so much.
Organize.
Thank you so much, John, for
Thank you.
gracing our
Love,
invitation.
love. Thank you much.
All right.
Bye.
Bye bye bye.
thank you very much, John.
Alright, so tayo pagbabalik natin, basahin natin itong mga komentaryo na nagtambak na. Tayo will take a short break muna ha.
Now and then we all are aliens. Yes, we are. Feeling like we don't belong.
Ayan. Sumainyo ang ating naging panawin na si Mr.
Ah,
John Arceneaux.
marami.
Ha? Tama yung sabi mo,
Yung
talaga mabubusog tayo.
the information, the knowledge is so wide na we need to focus on the, we have to focus on the critical few
Mm.
to be able to easily transfer that information.
Could you speak
So,
closer to your microphone, please?
ano?
Yeah. Closer to the microphone, please.
Nag-move ata to
Because your voice is fading. So,
Uh-oh.
any reaction to his statement so far? It's very rich and very robust when it comes to the context and
As you said, he knows a
today.
lot of things.
He knows a lot of things, and it's quite deep, and we could not, of course, digest it in one sitting. It would take a while before we could make sort things out and make our own conceptualizations and we develop our ideas so we're around it.
Right.
So, kaya we have to hold it muna because unless we will get indigestion or probably some information overload at the moment. Okay? Ed?
Pero maganda. I mean, we really have to start. It's true that we have to.
Uh-uh.
We have gone through. I mean, we have been we have been doing this podcast for the last 2 years now, no? 2 years na tayo, no?
2 years, so for more than 2 years.
For Alien Talk, as far as Alien Talk is concerned, or more.
More than 2 years.
So yung information, I am sure that we have somehow or other, there are members or friends in our community that has understood and accepted the different ideas, knowledge, information that we have conveyed. And some of these are actually, some of those that we have taken up are mentioned by John
Yes.
over time. No?
Particularly in regards to the flag, particularly with the flag that he showed to us. Two major nations were mentioned there, the UK, Vatican, and the Philippines. So why the Philippines would be so important or ever deserve to be mentioned in that presentation. Kaya yun ang tinatanong ko sa kanya, gaano ba kahalaga ang Pilipinas? Ano ba sa tingin mo, Ed? Dahil ba doon sa leyline sa Davao? O dahil ba
I,
tayo
I,
ay sa...
I think we are a very diversified people.
Mm,
If you will, uh, the tendency of culture and tradition kasi is sabihin natin is advanced, and
mm,
the tendency is your DNA is strengthened by the mixture of the different races and cultures.
okay.
So we are both Oriental and Occidental.
Mm.
We are the product of the combination of the East and the West.
And you're
And
very
what we
adaptable.
need to bring out is the best things within us and bring it out.
Mm.
Kaya yung sabi niya, na-mention niya sino ba yun? Yung Singapore. Our
Ah,
biggest problem is our discipline.
oo.
But sa akin naman, there is a paradox to our nature because dito sa Pilipinas, para matigas ang ulo natin. But when we go out into
Ah,
the world, yung mga OFW natin, okay naman disiplina nila.
oo.
And we follow the discipline of Singapore.
Mm.
We follow the traffic rules in Europe and in the
Yun ang
US.
yun ang
Uh,
nandiyan kasi mentality, Ed, nung ano 'no, yung tawag ba,
uh,
kung nandito ka sa aming tahanan, ako ang hari. 'Pag nandiyan ako sa
uh,
iyo, ikaw ang hari at ako'y iyong
ayan.
serbado, ako yung
So
namamaan.
it is within us yung the ability to be disciplined and to follow rules. Nandito sa atin. Pero
Oo.
rules that are for our benefits and for our
Yun na nga.
advancement and
Sa
development.
China iba naman, eh,
Not
mga China.
not the rules that will keep us slaves.
Eh, sa China naman, iba naman yun. Pagkagaling sa mainland China, pagdating dito sa Pilipinas, parang mga asong nakawala. Sila ang walang disiplina 'pag sa ibang bansa. 'Pag doon sa bansa nila,
Aba,
walang disiplina.
kasi totalitarian sila na.
Totalitarian
They are
sila.
now under control. So pag nakalabas sila,
Naku,
akala mo sila na ang hawak ng
oo.
mundo.
May lahat ng kabastusan ipakikita na nila. Okay, so napakaganda yung binahagi sa atin ni John. Hindi ko akalain na gano'n pala ano 'to, kapunong-puno ng impormasyon, eh. Ed,
He keeps mentioning about Luke. Is it the Gospel of Luke?
I think Lucy,
Lucy is
the Cro-Magnon,
yung great, that bone, the
remains.
bone that was found. But ano
Oo,
yung,
hindi ko
is it Luke
napansin yun.
or Lucy?
Sa tingin ko
Ayun,
Lucy.
yun ang mga, so maybe we should have a private
Ah,
private discussion na
ah,
mag-interact tayong tatlo.
tama ka
Or
diyan,
you can bring in si Saldi Vilches,
Saldi Vilches, Saldi De Leon, nasaan ka na
si
ba Saldi De Leon?
si
Si
Vincent Bonifacio. Ano yun eh,
Vincent, Bong Vicente,
Vicente.
si Stuart
So maybe
Bloom,
we should have a private meeting muna soon within the next few days.
Fred Tan, ayan, mga
And
yan.
then we can discuss this, how we will approach it.
And I will polish my English also.
Wala, okay naman yung English mo ba?
Okay ba?
Okay naman
Okay,
ba? Hirap
sige.
na hirap na ako English, ikaw okay, okay.
Rebuking the idea without any concrete evidence is like an idiot. Solomon is looking for the pure gold as God led him. Ana de Guzman, good evening. Tatang natin muna to, ano? To see you again on live, NJ Lo Dragono, Ronaldo Niscal, Dito Silerio, Pigapetas, revelation that our alien natives just pick up gold from the riverbank. So, Anton, dato magsisibya, nangahasik na naman ng baho niya, nahikayat naman ang mga kababayan natin sa OFW na mag-invest sa G-Sayon niya. Akala ko ba wala na siya sa Maharlika Nation at nag-resign na siya bilang spokesperson? O nag-ahasik na naman daw ba ng G-Sayon, Sus Mario Josep. Luis Escalera. Hi, Jose. Hi, Twin. Gerardo, Sir John. Yes, we need to study and must learn everything about our role. Ikaw ba, Ed, titingin mo? Siyempre, okay naman yun. Yung mga collective consciousness would be enough to produce energy, sort of energy or vibrationary energy that could
In
alter
fact, you mentioned the special number, 144.
144,000. It's very biblical yan dahil it was also
Ah.
mentioned in Revelation. Although dun sa Revelation was more specific about describing the 144 as belonging to the 12 laws, to the 12 tribes of Israel. 12,000 per 12.
Remember, 12 times 12, yan.
12 to 10. Pero dapat, ito bang 144 nito should comprise members from the 12 tribes of Israel or regardless?
When
We
it
have
comes
our...
to collective consciousness is
Hindi na
not
siguro.
identified, is not differentiated by race. It's the
Ah.
collective.
Again,
Mainsik ka man, mga Pilipino, mauti,
sabi nga niya, sa collective consciousness, no gender, no race, no discrimination whatsoever. We have, sa House of Bae, we have our gold mine here in our country. Spanish has discovered the Philippines has enormous gold based on the people wearing them from head to toes. They decided to take control of this country. Arobena, God's culture was responsible promoting of fear was ancient Philippines. Oo nga. Inimbita nga namin yung God's culture. Matagal na po yan. Inimbita ko namin yung God's culture na maging panauhin para ipaliwanag ko dito anong naging basihan niya na offer ang Pilipinas. Pero hindi ho siya humaharap. Ayaw po, hindi sumasagot. No? Itong Australian ho yata yan. Tapos ang may asawang Pilipina. Ilang beses na po. Siguro may 3 beses na ho namin nakinommunicate para magpaliwanag. Paano naging basihan mo? Hindi ko sumasagot eh. Kaya hindi lang pala tayong dalawa yung nag-ano sa opera. Pero sabi naman ng ating commenter kanina, mabuti naman daw yun na meron silang pag-asa. Ayan. Sabi ni Global Citizen, of fear because it symbolizes hope and the belief of God. Maybe we really have to have a role to play the transition to come. It's good to hope that we are destined to make our contributions to mankind. Alam mo, may nadi-develop na term ngayon. Tungkol dyan sa hope na yan. Yung tinatawag na hopium. Hopium, ha? Baga, pinatutulog tayo, pinapakalma tayo dahil dyan sa hope. At pero napaka-importanting element ng hope.
Kasi when you keep on hoping, your tendency is to not to bother about other things because you are hoping na mangyari yan.
And then, that's
minsan when you are so fanatically hopeful, nakalimutan mo na yung ibang mga obligation mo.
May mga realizable hopes na lang. Kaysa dun sa mga palatag hopes. Hopes na binibigyan ng mga palatag. Iba yun, ha? Try to watch God's culture. Madaming link din at nagtuturo sa opera. Yung issue siya, yung God's culture, napanood na nga namin yan. Pero manipulate niya yung mga links. Pipili ho siya ng mga talata na labas na ho dun sa Biblia para mabuo yung kanyang tsuri. Yun ang problema sa kanya. Lalaktaw pa, pupunta pa rin sa history books. Basihan niya, Biblia. Kung sa Biblia ka lang, doon ka na lang umikot sa Biblia, huwag ka na lumabas pa sa history books. Minamanipulate niya ho. Diyan ho tayo dinadaya ng God's culture na yan. Mandaraya ho yan. Kasi meron ho silang agenda na tayo ay nako, mahirap na magsalita. Sa research ho, ganun ho yun. Ang tinatawag na qualitative research, subjective research. Kung ano yung theory niya, gagawa ho na. Siyempre, pupunta ka sa doktor. Pag pupunta ka sa doktor, anong bang gagawin ng doktor? Hanapan ka ng sakit. Yun ang trabaho niya eh. Kung pupunta ka sa dentista, titignan yung ngipin mo. O ngayon, pumunta ka sa kanya, yun ang theory niya, hahanapin niya yung magbubuo ng theory niya. Pero wala ho talaga siyang matibay na batayan ng Pilipinas ay upir. Marami tayong ginto, marami rin namang ginto. Hindi naman ho exclusive yung pagiging marami ng ginto sa Pilipinas. Maski binibiro mo, Sibag, ginawa niyang Cebu.
If we go back to the old Cebu language, not Cebu.
It's not Cebu. Sugbo. Sugpuanon, hindi Cebu. Oh, baka sa Lake Cebu. Totoo yung sinabi ni John
Baka nga sa
Agrippa,
Lake Cebu galing yan.
sa Lake Cebu. Eduardo the Quipa, the Spaniards who colonized us, distorted our history. Talaga, it would appear,
Which they have done to all the countries or areas that they have colonized.
kita mo, Ed, no, pag binasa mo yung history of the Philippines, it started in March 1615, 121. Yoyoy Villame agad ang makikita, maririnig mo ron.
Ngayon, actually, every time I mention yan, si Yoyoy
Yoyoy,
Villame ang nasa isip ko.
parang wala na tayong history. Parang na-create ang Pilipinas noong 1521 lang. First migration of Filipinos to America occurred in California in the 16th century, or 16th century pa pala, when Spanish priests accompanied by Filipinos started, yun si ano, yung kalungsod, saka si Luis, Saint Luis, di ba ginawang Filipino Saint, ano daw yun sakristan ba yun, o ano?
Dinala sa Japan.
Ting-shing, atheist yata ang guess nyo, hindi naman siya atheist. Kung hindi siya, naniniwala siya sa Diyos, otherwise hindi siya magsasalita ng gano'n. Ako, naniniwala ako may Diyos, hindi ako atheist. Pero, hindi nangangahulugan na ako ay sumasampalataya lang sa isang reliyon. Yan.
Ang problema is that a lot of us, parang a lot of us, ang ginagawa natin, ang religion ang nagka-control. What is happening to people that are awakened, that they believe in God, but they are no longer imprisoned by the religious organization.
Mm-hmm.
They are free to understand.
In fact, ang religion is not supposed to be taken in context as the worship of God, as God's worship.
Right.
But
religion is actually the rituals.
Is a verb na ginagawa mong mas madalas araw-araw o ginagawa mong according do sa ritual mo, according dun sa
That's why religion is a ritual.
Kaya nga mga babae,
it is, you are constricted by the different rituals or the rules and standards that you need to follow within that religion to believe in the God.
Yes.
And it's supposed to be a universal God.
Kaya nga, halimbawa, Mama religiously go to the market every 7 a.m. O religiously.
So regularly.
Regularly or religiously. Yun ang ano dun Kaya mas religious nga ang mga babae. Mas religious ang mga babae. They don't fail to go to the church. Lagi yan. 6 o'clock talaga mas, nandun yun. Sa Kristan ako din nung araw yung mga
pero yung si Osiris at saka si
Isis. Ayun ng mga religious, mas religious ang mga babae, pero sa spirituality, mas ano naman doon. Anyway, ayun na-miss natin yung kagabi, yung Osiris at Isis, dahil nga doon sa natawag na obelisk doon sa Washington. Meron pala doon. Kaya yung January 20 is a transitional point. Yung petsa ng January 20, may
I'm
mga...
very curious why he said 24.
Alin?
I'm very curious why John said 24. Bantayan yung
24. Kaya may sinabi si John na 24.
Ano ba yan?
Sir John, welcome to Stellantos. Okay, thank you, Feli. Canton ATS yan, delikado yan. Please read Psalms 53:1.
I think there is something wrong na. When you say atheist kasi, atheist is somebody who does not believe in God. So, like me for instance, we do not practice our religion, the religion we were baptized in, we still believe in God. I believe in primary God or the universal God.
Yes. And believing in God does not necessarily identifying who you worship. but
Yes.
merely acknowledging that there is a supreme power.
But in other words,
Power.
when you believe when you believe in a God, whatever
Ah,
that is, you are not an atheist.
you're not an atheist.
Correct. You're not an atheist. Mali yung sinasabi niya na he is an atheist
Mm.
because he believes in God.
He believes in God.
Sabi question, sinasabi nga we should live like Christ
Ah,
in love and in love. That's not being
yung at sa tingin ko no, ang definition niya ng Christhood relates to the degree degree of spirituality that a man
yes.
has achieved. Kapag gaya din sa mga Masonic rituals, meron silang 33 degrees eh. Pag sinabi na naka-achieve mo na yung 33 degrees, na-achieve mo na yung Christhood. Yun yung time na namatay rin si Jesus, sinasabi nila, yung 33. So yun ang mga Christhood na yan, na talagang impeccable na yung, unquestionable na yung mga spiritual journey mo at naka-produce na yan ng enough experience sa'yo. Di ba, Ed?
Sabi nga nila, if you become an atheist, you do not believe in God because there is a God. People believe in a God. You become an atheist because you do not believe in that God. But there is a God that you do not believe in.
So kung ang Muslim hindi naniniwala sa Diyos ng mga Kristiyano, hindi nangangahulugan ng atheist yung Muslim.
Atheist sila because they believe in Allah, di ba?
Yung mga China, CCP, yan, mga atheist yan.
Yan, kasi yun, ang sabi nila, there is no God except Mao Zedong.
There is no God except CCP.
So maybe if Vatican will now pronounce that Mao Zedong is a God, probably yan ang mangyari. Which, in all practicality, baka they have already done because they have signed a contract with the Pope Francis has signed a contract with the CCP China para hindi guluhin yung Catholic Church. Ang CCP China na ang mag-appoint ng mga archbispo. Tapos doon sa simbahan, nandun yung statwa ni Mao Zedong, kay Mark at saka kay Lenin.
Aba.
Tingnan mo yun.
Saint Mao. Papauma mo.
Saint Mao na yun. Saint Mao, Saint Mark's, and
Saint Mao.
Ang iba naman sabi nila ko yun, the Three Stooges.
Sino sa? Si Lenin, Stalin? Mao? Lenin? Si Mao? Tsaka sino pa?
Stalin. Mao Zedong.
Lenin.
Stalin. Lenin.
Marx,
But they follow the Marx and Hegelian
Three Stooges.
Ideology or philosophy.
Badyango, thank you, Sir John, for clarifying. And for those Filipinos where our real DNA comes, lights, love, and namaste. Best to Lord, ito magandang topic kasi sa mga pera-pera ginto-ginto. Yun man kaming topic nun eh, alien talk eh. Kaya Kanton, tanong ko, paano naniniwala siya kay Jesus Cristo? Pag hindi siya naniwala, atheist yan. Ay, hindi yan gano'n, Anang Luis, ano?
I don't agree. You look at the definition of what is an atheist.
I think he is atheist. So, Mr. Guest, don't believe in our creator. May I ask, please, who created you then? Naniniwala siya, House of Bae, sa creator. Kaya nga tayo ay mga co-creators by which we have not realized that we are because we have been constrained to believing that we are just mere followers.
Ano ba yung sinabi na, if you are of one mind, you would be like, yung may versikulo dyan sa Bible, if you are of one mind, you are like God.
What has been taken away from us is this. Nakalagay doon sa Bible, the God created us in His own image. So ikaw mismo, kami ni Ed, ikaw, House of Bae, meron kang God attributes, meron kang God qualities or God-like qualities. Ang problema, hindi tinuturo sa atin nung mga nakakaalam ng sikreto na yan kasi magiging mas powerful tayo kaysa dun sa kanila at yung desires nila ay hindi matutupad. Hindi natin sila masusunod. Tinitingala natin sila bilang mga amo, mga boss, kasi ikaw nagpapasweldo. Pero pag pinagsama-sama natin yan, ma-discover natin kung ano yung godlike attributes na meron pala tayong lahat. Wala na. Kaya nga takot. Kaya nga ano sinabi ng simbahan? Nagkaroon sila ng witch hunt. Nagkaroon sila ng lahat ng mangkukula, masama yan, bawal yan, evil yan. Dahil takot sila eh. Dahil alam ng mga simbahan na yan, na kayang pabagsakin ang kanilang simbahan kapag mga mangkukulam kahaban nila. Kapag yung mga magagaling na spiritual na tao, ang kalaban nila dahil meron ng godlike attributes ang bawat isa sa atin. Okay, Ed, sige. So, hindi ko na babasahin ba to? Hindi ko na babasahin. Tulog na tayo. Sige. Alright. Sa mga hindi ko na nabasa dahil napasarap yung ating kwento eh. Dali mag-good night na tayo eh. Tulog ka na eh. Ano ba gagawin natin? Magkaroon ba tayo ng movement? Isa? Pilipino.
Pag-usapan natin in what we will have to do. Baka we need a new podcast.
Oo. Sige.
Hindi WTN, hindi UFOSP. Another, hindi sigarilyo. I think this will be our fourth tema na podcast.
Thematic. Mas ganda yung thematic di ba? Tama naman yun eh. Sa material side, WOTN. Kapag sa spiritual side, iba naman yung topic natin. Sige. Okay, Ed. Maraming salamat sa iyong sama sa akin dito.
Sa'yo mo pala mag-English eh.
Ano lang?
Are just belittling yourself.
Okay, Ed. Maraming salamat.
Good night, everyone.
Ay, sorry about that. Okay, so yan po naging kabuuan na ating Sunday Super Special ngayong linggo. With our guest, maraming salamat sa iyo, Mr. John Arceneaux, at sa iyong bibigay bahagi ng iyong kaalaman. At yan natin pag-uusapan pa, palalawigin pa natin yan. We will go further, as Ed and I have agreed. We will probably develop a new podcast. Ano ba yan? Paano sa tema na yan? Sige, tama na. Sasalita pa, papaalam na eh. Okay, good night po sa lahat. Hanggang sa Martes, tayo po muli magkita-kita para sa panibagong edisyon ng Ka-Anton Live. Good night.
Bye.
Pleasant dreams, sleep tight, my love.